So, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. And I also take this opportunity to wish a very happy Women's Day to all the ladies,
Thank you,
although
sir.
belated.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you
Thank you,
so
thank
much.
you, thank you.
So as we start, uh, I have always felt that we are like a galaxy of stars. And every time I come here and attend this kind of gathering, we are about 14, as 15 of us, and we are enriched by about 650 to 700 years of collective experience. That is the kind of strength that we hold in this group. Everybody, if not professionally, we have got experiences in life, in our families, and whatever ways we have led in our life. And as you all know, I'm not sharing any, exclusive wisdom here. There's no playbook that defines how we will live our life from womb to tomb. It all works on our hope, and we always try to make positive changes in our lives.
আমাদের যে আইটিডি গ্রুপ
And if we don't do anything, the nature will intervene.
করতে হবে বিপাশা না ভেবেছিলাম পরে আসবো তখন দেখবো না
So, Joy sir, may I request you to kindly switch off the mic? Yeah, thank you. So, that's how the life is. And uh, yeah, so you would contemplate what have I just now shared. Didn't you know all this? Probably you knew it, and so do I. It was just to match our frequencies, that we come from the same background and have similar kind of aspirations, same kind of experiences in our lives. So here, I just want to today discuss certain insights, experiences, reflections, perspectives, whatever you may call it, that I gained post our IITDT course, and generally these are during the COVID period. As regards this heading of an elephant and an ant, I consider this ant to be all those ideas that keep knocking on our head, those aspirations that keep playing on our mind. And mind, as you know, is a formless objective. Nobody knows how it looks like. Nobody's ever seen mind है क्या, कौन सी वो क्या ब्रेन की तरह दिखता है, क्या वो हार्ट की तरह दिखता है, वो क्या है, nobody knows. Somebody, the scientists and all, they describe it as interaction between neurons and things like that. But it's all, to a layman, it is a invisible object. What is visible is my physical self, which is the, I would take it as a representation in an elephant. That is the metaphor I have tried to create. It is all those ideas, all those niggles, all those needling aspirations that make the elephant move. And we have enough power. The mind is so powerful, whether it is subconscious, somebody says, no, it is the conscious mind which drives us. And the subconscious mind is sort of a library where all those are memories, all our experiences are stacked. And that is from where the conscious mind takes energy. So whatever it is, that is not the center subject of my talk today. I won't call it a presentation, it's more of a talk. And I take help of two stories from my life that occurred during the period of COVID. And let's see what lessons we can draw out of those two stories. बस कुछ छोटे छोटे ऐसे स्टेप्स हैं, कुछ आशाएं थी, कुछ पूरी हो गई, कुछ अधूरी रह गई, कुछ मुकम्मल हुई, कुछ अभी होनी है. एंड आई एम क्वाइट श्योर इन माय माइंड कि आपकी दुआओं से वो भी होगा आगे चलते चलते.
आमीन.
Thank you. So, before the stories, let me share with you how I landed in IITD. IITD में मेरा कोई ऐसा कोई विचार, कोई ऐसा पहले से कोई आपसे भी बहुत लोगों से बातचीत हुआ, तो किसी का भी ऐसा नहीं था कि एक कोई लाइफ में मिशन था कि मुझे आईआईटी करना है. There was an ad, and some people had different reasons to come to the IITD, but everybody came with lot of aspirations, lot of ideas, and some ambition कि कुछ करना है लाइफ में. और IITD can be a vehicle to that. जहां तक मेरा सवाल है, the story was slightly different. I come from army background, as you all know, and in 2016 I joined corporate. I joined a very wonderful organization, and I am rather in education sector, a brilliantly structured organization, and the focus was on academics. Very well structured. Everything is cutting edge, and it continues to be like that. And I was mostly uh, had a responsibility on the operational side. When we talk about operational side, it is everything other than the academics that you hold responsibility for that. And that Fauji Kida is always within us. We all, even if the things are, going very, very well, we still want to improve it. We still want that continuous improvement should be there. So with that mindset, I uh, started my journey in my organization. And at one point, I thought we need to establish a center of excellence, because on the academic side, we had all the training structures, everything well furnished. But for the other 60% of our manpower, we didn't have that kind of a structure. So what to do? Obviously, अभी वो बोलते हैं ना, जिसने बिल्ली के गले में अभी घंटी कौन बांधेगा. So since I had given the idea, management appreciated the idea. So the easiest thing that I could have done was कि HR को मैं बोल देता कि let's hire one L&D manager, और एक ऐसे ऐसे करके हम create कर देते हैं. But somewhere it was in my mind that it may or may not work, because we did not have anything to refer. It was a new thing coming up. कोई ऐसा स्ट्रक्चर हो जिसको कि आपने थोड़ा बहुत चेंजेस लाने, वो हो सकता है. बट टू रेज अ न्यू ऑर्गेनाइजेशन लाइक दिस, अ न्यू वर्टिकल लाइक दिस, it takes lot of patience, lot of organic work, which comes from within. And obviously, because of all those reasons, the responsibility landed on me. So, since I knew, I sort of reflected within myself what is there that I need to firstly arm myself with. So I referred to certain HR specialists who were in L&D sector, and slowly they kept advising me certain courses. I kept doing those courses. They were very, very well laid out courses which they recommended to me, and it was a great investment, I must tell you, with very, very meaningful dividends. There I also came across coaching. Although we had another version of this coaching process in army also, but how they do it in corporate or uh, in a civil society, it was slightly different. So all those strengths, they keep accumulating within me. So now I come to the story. So this is the channel, and this is the pursuit following which I landed up in IITD and met some wonderful people like you, especially this group who have, still kept their belief in themselves. I don't know about others, but this group I can always vouch for. So, as I'm sharing with you, coaching was one part which I added to my LinkedIn profile. And slowly, what happened, I also shared a lot of learnings from those courses on my LinkedIn profile. One day, it so happened during COVID, a youngster who was doing MBA course in Narsimunji, he contacted me on LinkedIn. Obviously, he had some problems. Actually, he was working in a multinational before joining MBA. And since those were the periods when, the jobs were not coming easy, and in fact, he was so down that he shared with me that the company where he was employed before taking up his MBA, they were not accepting him now as an intern. So that was the status, and that is what he was going through. And while we were discussing, he shared with me, he was sitting in his village in Kerala, and he shared, sir, there is one thing that I want to share with you, that I'll not be able to pay your fees. So I was slightly taken aback. He was just a little older than my son, and actually, this kind of thing never crossed my mind also, that I'm going to charge any fees from this guy. So I went back to those HR professionals who were, sort of my guide, and I asked them that what is this fee that this boy has spoken to me about? And they shared with me that to deliver real value and to be responsible for somebody, it is always good to charge some amount of fees from people. It will add to your professionalism. You will be better prepared, better committed to the client. And on the other hand, the client will also respond to you actively. So it is a win-win situation for both the client as well as for the coach. So that was another learning. So let's keep that aside for now. So this boy, he got engaged with me, and of course, it was pro bono. And slowly, this boy gained some confidence, and today he's employed here only in Mumbai in Gemini, doing very well. Quite happy for him. Now, after about a month, another incident happened. This time, a senior executive from ICICI Bank, he contacted me, and he said, "Sir, I want to get engaged with you." And we had few discussions. And this guy, without even asking me, because he came from corporate background, he quoted some fees which was much beyond my own expectations. And I readily agreed. We went ahead. It was a great experience. Uh, and in fact, we kept on doing this process for good about 2 years, till the time he disengaged from his present job, got what he wanted. He wanted to be a CEO, in fact. That was his aspirations for his later years. And he shifted from here to Hyderabad, where he belonged to. He was originally in Mumbai. And it was a great, great, great experience. And at the peak of it, while he was, our engagement was about to culminate, I asked him, "You have had so many experiences in corporate. So just share with me. I want to ask you, you must have undergone coaching earlier also. So why this coaching was necessary for you? And why did you select me?" He said, कि sir, मैं 15 साल, he named a very big corporate, I don't want to name it. He said कि 15 साल मैं उस कंपनी में था, और मुझे 3 चांस मिले कोचिंग प्रोसेस के थ्रू जाने के लिए. But every time a coach was hired for him, it was what his manager felt about him, and no one bothered what he wanted. He said nobody could reach my heart. And this time it was different. I say, how come it was different? He says, now I was the driving force behind this entire process. And it really touched me. We are still in contact. And the peak of my this initiative, I had 8 people who were in my cohort, although I was dealing with everybody individually. And I am so thankful, if ma'am permits, ma'am was one of them, Mrs. Neelam. She was one of them. And every time, every one of them acknowledges it feels as if I'm getting a pat on my back. It was a great experience, and I would just like to show you a few slides where myself and that client of ICICI Bank left. So this is what we were doing towards the end of this engagement. Initially, of course, we had some other issues to solve, but later on, this is where we finished. I named it as second flowering, and it was all about developing executive presence. So it was all about different modules where something about self-awareness, then what executive presence is all about, how can you engage with people, how can you engage with yourself, the mandatory part like the strategic communication, optimization, public speaking, something about your part, dressing, social etiquettes, networks, and in the end, what kind of gravitas imprint that you want to develop for yourself. So I just wanted to share with you as to how we went about the entire process. Uh, this was what I think we were trying to achieve. The hero who was written about or someone who was a good biographer. There is a lot of difference between the two. What people say about you and what you yourself say about yourself. So I think that is the end state that everybody is looking for. Now, I would like to take you through the second story. Now, the second story also somehow links to the same effort that I was trying to do for my organization, establishing the Center of Excellence. Now, in this story, what happened? Although we had created lot of our programs, the things were going well, but somehow it was not taking the impression and the effect that we wanted. We had lot of what we call it as training effectiveness, and because our locations are all spread out all over the countryside, it was not possible to go and meet everybody or to call everybody to one place and conduct a wholesome kind of a project, trainings, meetups, very difficult. So we initiated an idea where we storified the entire process that we expect from our teams. And then we decided we'll film it. And as you know, for such initiatives, the budgets are always limited. So the technical part, we could not do much. We had to hire people, and Bombay is the place where these things are easily available. And of course, we could not hire professional actors. So the responsibility came on people like me and my team members. Somehow, those people who came to direct us and produce that small little films, they run some acting workshops for us for a day or two. And then we were on our own, and it was about an engagement for about 2 weeks. Great experience. We developed a very good bonding with the crew, and everything went off very, very well. It was a very, very effective effort. And the later on, we realized in the hindsight, it was a great decision to be part of those films because it created that kind of authenticity and relatability, which if we had hired actors, wouldn't have come up. So once they saw their own team members doing the stuff, it had a different effect on the people who viewed it. So now I come to the turning point. Now, this was the COVID time. We were all relaxing in our respective places. And one day, that boy who was the head of the team that I'm talking about, the filming crew, he was in touch with me. And once in a while, he'll call me, कि sir, कुछ काम बताओ और है तो can you refer me to other people? Those normal business talks that we have. Normal, anybody would approach you for such a request. And one day, suddenly, I saw he sent me some WhatsApp messages which had numbers of few casting directors. And he used to pull my leg कि सर आप एड्स में क्यों नहीं ट्राई करते. आपको ऐड में जाना चाहिए। आई ऑलवेज यूज टू थिंक ये मेरा को मक्खन लगा रहा है। तो ठीक है, वी यूज टू ऑल एंजॉय इट। मैं कहा ठीक है, आप भी इंजॉय करो, मैं भी इंजॉय करूँ। एंड आई लेफ्ट इट देयर। बट वन डे ही कॉल्ड मी। ही सेड सर आपने उसका क्या किया? आई सेड मैंने कुछ नहीं किया। तो ही सेड सर आपको कुछ करना चाहिए। तो मैंने कहा मैं क्या करूँ, मेरे पास तो कोई पोर्टफोलियो बना हुआ है, कुछ नहीं है, आई हैव नो बैकग्राउंड नथिंग। तो ही टॉट मी समथिंग कि कैसे, जैसे अभी मैम पूछ रहे थे राजेश जी को कि कैसे एआई का कैसे हम कर सकते हैं इंट्रोड्यूस। So something like that he told me, and I felt it was quite doable because you were to just keep a mobile in front of you, do few things, tell about yourself, and just send it across. And he said that as far as the experience is concerned, whatever films you have made, you call them as corporate films, and that's your experience. So it's done. But he also told me that he'll not be able to help me. मैंने कहा फिर क्या फायदा हुआ? So he said, no, sir, it's a different process. I'll not be able to help you. People will judge you. People will, if they like you, they'll select you. So I reluctantly shared it with few people. I used to get scripts. I used to get some advice. ऐसे करना, ऐसे करना. I used to do it and always used to get rejected. और बोलता सर एड्स में तो आपका हो ही जाएगा, कोई ऐड नहीं मिली मुझे। Every time I used to get rejected, and even my family members used to make fun of me कि क्या करता रहता है, इसको क्या हो गया है बुढ़ापे में। And of course, it used to hurt my ego also. I'll accept it. So one day I got a breakthrough, and this breakthrough was much bigger than what I expected. It was for Arya, that uh, OTT platform. Some of you would have seen it. Arya 2. I received this call that you please come and be part of this. You have been selected. So I went to the shooting was going on in Mud Island, and there is a resort, the resort ही बोलते हैं उसको. We were all housed there, and I had a great experience working there for a few days. Uh, there was one Mr. I think Vinod Rawat, who was our acting coach. He and his team used to coach us as to क्या करना है, कैसे करना है. And then there was Mr. Kapil Sharma, not Kapil Sharma comedian. There was another who is a assistant director. He is actually son of squadron leader Rakesh Sharma, the astronaut. His son. He is also in the industry.
Okay.
So we had a great time, and it was a very good experience. I had lot of hopes from myself till I received a very disappointing WhatsApp message from our producer director, Mr. Ram Madhwani. Here it is. So what I would like to highlight is he said some parts have been edited, rewritten, and some scenes may not even be there. So in a way, there was a small team, myself and uh, three more people. All are part of our story was deleted. But somehow there is small imprint that I would like to share with you now. You may see me when he is pouring a uh, drink into this old man's glass.
Wow.
We were not aware
you.
of that, Colonel. Fantastic.
So I just want to share certain lessons with you as to how I see all these experiences. Although these things were very short-lived, because thereafter I came back to my profession and I thought I must dedicate myself fully to what I am good at and what I am established in. And the lessons are about four or five. And I would expect that if you have more lessons, because you all have great experience in your lives, I would welcome that. Whatever you have to suggest, I'll look for that. So the first lesson that I want to share with you that I experienced is about clarity. Now, I feel that clarity is not overthinking. We generally get into the overthinking mode to seek clarity because overthinking will only lead you to more and more roadblocks. It's a dynamic process and it emerges from swadharma, like we say in our the teachings from Gita. अपने काम किए कर्म किए जाओ और फल की चिंता मत करो. Like Steve Jobs also said, you can only connect the dots backwards. I think it all initiated with something that responsibility I took, which I had no business to do, like establishing that center of excellence. That led me to so many things, various courses, of course, improving my own worldview, improving my own talents, interacting with more number of peoples, more number of good human beings on this planet. And that is how I think I kept on moving ahead. And we need to trust the process and just let it go, let it go, just follow it. I would just share the two roadblocks that I just now spoke about, which originated out of overthinking. Just to exemplify what I am trying to say. The first roadblock is about self-image, the ego, the status, the society. Uh, as we look back and reflect, you would realize that there are certain boundaries, and those boundaries may be your own, or those boundaries may be laid down by the society that we live in, maybe our family members, maybe our friends, maybe the circles that we thrive in. They all want us to live a particular kind of life. Like, for example, I'll tell you, when I was into this experience of movie making, I realized something very, very unique, which I didn't know actually. There are different treatments for different people. We have seen hierarchy in our army background, in corporate. The same hierarchy flows in Bollywood also. There are stars, there are actors, and there are artists. I fell in the category of artists, which is the rock bottom. Although because of my background and all, I got due respect. That's a separate issue altogether. But I just want to share with you how the life is. So, since I come from army background and I have a liking for, being counterintuitive, go against the intuitive process that somebody expects from me, being unconventional. But it's very, very difficult because I come from army background. That is the only way that we win over our enemy, because we never expect the enemy to behave in a conventional manner. He will always behave in an unconventional manner, and so will we. So each of us are actually trying to outdo each other. So that is how I could neutralize my guilt. You may call it pressures, you may call it ego, you may call it fear, whatever you may want to call it. So that stays with us. And it is very, very difficult to clarify that part. And the third one, which again hit me once the COVID got over, as to what is my profession and what is my hobby. Most of us get stuck in that because hobby will not pay me as well as my profession. So I had to see my own circumstances, accept it, be practical about it, and then hold my ambitions accordingly. The next is to keep your toes dipped in chilled water. Here, what I want to share with you is that if you've been to a holy place, for example, you have been to Haridwar, you've been to Sangam, you've been to Rishikesh, or any such places, or you may be from a different faith, but you must have had a similar experience where you took a dip in water. Let's imagine it's a wintry morning, it's biting cold, and for some reason you have to wash your face with absolutely cold water. or you have to take a dip in river. What happens? Initially, you are scared. Then you take the dip. Then you feel that shiver in your body. Suddenly, quickly, you come out. You take a towel or you take something, you take a rope, you put it on yourself. After 5, 10, 15 minutes, you start feeling warm again because your body temperature holds you good. The same thing happens to us with developing a new hobby, a new habit, or a new profession. I have done it, so that is why I'm telling you. We have to be continuously at it. We have to make our body used to that new way of living, new way of thinking, new way of tackling our biases, our limitations. Whatever comes to our mind, we need to neutralize it. And normally people say nothing succeeds like success. I say nothing succeeds like experimentation. A lot of us spend a lot of time in finding our niche, in finding our uh, destiny. You may call it anything. But listen to that ant that is trying to provoke action in the elephant. Listen to her. So many times we have an inhibition. Oh, I'm not famous. Yes, if I am famous, I'll be invited anyhow. You see how the political figures, they are called. They say anything, nobody bothers. You see so many sports personalities, they are not very good orators, still they are called. People are looking up to them. What if I'm not famous? We have got a brilliant tool today, which Rajesh ji keep forcing us, keep pursuing us, go follow, 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 go after it. And that is internet. And I have seen whenever we talk about internet, social media, or any such blogs or anything, people get stuck with consistency. Consistency is actually nothing. We just need to build a muscle. हम क्या ब्रश नहीं करते रोज? 1.5 घंटा हम ट्रेन में सफर नहीं करते कहीं जाने के लिए, और अब तो कार में भी उतना ही टाइम लगता है जो हालत है बॉम्बे की. Or even Bangalore, we have guests from Bangalore. It is same. If I can develop that consistency of going to a place or my office at a particular time, doing something, eating something, finding time to, sort of sneak out something from the fridge, alongside only I can build a habit. It's a different topic. I'll not go deeper into it. And with our maturity, I think everybody understands it. So at times, I think how many of us think we should handle life the way we handled COVID? We have a practical example in front of us. That time we faced adversity so boldly. We changed
Yeah.
our habits. We did
There
everything.
was
Yeah,
no planning,
nothing.
nothing.
We
No.
gave away all our comfort. ठीक है, नहीं
Yes,
मिलेंगे
sir.
लोगों से. ठीक है, हम
Yeah.
रेस्टोरेंट भी नहीं जाएंगे. ठीक है, हम घर में बैठेंगे. We showed so much resilience. कुछ लोग बीमार भी हुए, ठीक हो गए, फटाफट ठीक हो गए. इन्फेक्शंस ठीक हो गए, सब बड़े हो गए. So that's why I say we need to keep experimenting. We need to keep our toes dipped into chilled water. That is what I meant by writing this. The next I suggest is we need to continuously reflect as to where we are, because chasing dreams is not easy, and it is not incorrect to have any dreams. Let me share with you, it took me 18 years to become a colonel in army, which is a normal period. After finishing my colonel's tenure, that which is about 2.5 years, at 20 years, I wanted to leave army because the units I come from, we are all from fighting arms. There it is said, once you have commanded, you should leave. You will find a lot of these combat officers leaving, because thereafter we don't consider it to be soldiering. It is only, making plans and giving orders, things like that. But it took me 8 years after that. I left at 28 years of service. Now I spent 8 years in corporate. Maybe I'm living for another life after this. So it will take time. And I have a coach myself who took 7 years to get out of his corporate job in Seattle. He's a techie. He took 3 years to settle back into what he wanted to do. He took another 7 years to come up to the same level of income what he left in US. It will take time. So we need to create some sort of self-love for ourselves. That is what I feel. When I say self-love, we should make ourselves our own priority. We normally get entangled with too many other things. Our free time goes away, we while away our time. And somehow uh, we need not take any stress also. कि यार क्या life है, क्या हो गया? It will take time. We should be patient with our life. We should not end up, injuring our self-esteem or taking any bold decisions which may not be, which could be a foolhardiness. So we need to take care of all those things. And what I think everyday routine should be, it should be a fulfilling experience. Like, for example, for me, a fulfilling experience is I should have mist on my face early in the morning. That when you go out for a walk in the morning, that's how you feel. You should get little bit of sweat on your body throughout the day, sometime, an hour, hour and a half. And you should be able to read few pages of a good book. So that is my state of a fulfilling day, a fulfilling routine. Each one of us is unique. So you might have your own ways of fulfilling your routine. And the last but not the least is, as we all talk about it, and I don't know, we all have our own way of conveying gratitude. And for me, the gratitude lies in being grateful for all the opportunities that we get in life. Anybody who comes to me कि यार मैं तो यार बहुत थका हुआ हूँ, मेरे पास बहुत काम है, I say what a blessing you have. क्योंकि दुनिया के पास काम ही नहीं है आज. दुनिया मर रही है, मुझे काम दो. और कोई बोलता है मैं काम से थक गया, I say how blessed you are. God bless you. So that is how I feel about the gratitude. And also one needs to overestimate the people's support, because until unless we team up, at least we have a buddy pair, I think it becomes very, very difficult for a single person to, carry on the way day and night we need to pursue, or we want to pursue our goals and ambitions. So everyone is unique. Everybody has their own way of dealing with these things. Nothing is right or wrong. I don't have anything to comment on that. And as far as I'm finishing, I think this conveys everything. The ant will keep its chatter on, but it is up to the elephant as to how he fulfills its prophecy. So here the ant is saying, do you think you can do that? And the elephant responds, life is all about experimenting to check if things work or not. I borrowed it from somebody, but it's very, very, I found it very, very impactful. And in the larger story, I think we all want to create a symphony out of our life. We want to कुछ ऐसा हम कर जाना चाहते हैं कि दुनिया हमें याद रखे. We want to create a legacy, especially the people who have got this kind of, urge to do something different every 4, 5, 10 years. I think we all belong to that part. So that's I think our way of fulfilling having a fulfilling life. Thank you so much.
Lovely.
Mm.
Beautiful.
I had not heard, of course, this has been a solo song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is one of my favorites also. It's a solo song, but I had not heard or seen that something like this has been made out of it. But this has a much better effect, of course.
There on YouTube.
Okay. I had not seen this before.
They had some concert, I
Beautiful,
think.
lovely. मजा आ गया.
Thank you so much.
And
Yes.
generally,
Uh,
when you end a session like this with such a soothing, lovely song with all the singing stalwarts on the stage,
Yeah.
it felt amazing. It felt amazing. Very nice.
And also lots of new thing we came to know, which we were not aware.
Yeah, I think Dr.
Um,
Shivkumar is wanting to say.
Please.
Yeah, Dr.
So it was very nice.
Thank you, sir.
Actually, I don't know to what extent I'm going to add something, because the late 70s and early 80s, they used to select people as management trainees, because those days we never had HR specialization, marketing specialization, or finance. So
Yeah.
once you are selected as a management trainee, 2 years you will be 6 months, or 4 months you will be attached to different departments. And at the end of the 2 years, the person who was with you in each department give their report, and they finally said you are very good fitting for the finance department or public relations. Like that they will, and that's how you were given the job earlier. Later, when specialization started coming, people started specializing, and then they wanted to do their internship only in those areas which they would like to specialize. Now, coming to the other aspect which you shared, in fact, I am also one person who has been seriously affected by this, because I was a stage artist throughout my life. In my college, in my school, everywhere I used to be doing the stage artist work. And I did get a breakthrough to act in a movie as a guest appearance for about 5-6 scenes, totaling to 18 to 20 minutes. And
Wow.
then I got into teaching profession. I was looking for an audience. I got the audience. 41 years, I converted that audience to inspire me and to do my job in the best possible manner.
Wonderful.
Fantastic.
Because I was very keen to get into this acting,
Oh,
stage, because in school, college, everywhere I used to get chances to act. But then it did not, because they said if I have to work, do the weekend acting, I should get a job in Chennai, Madras those days. But I couldn't get. I was already assistant professor. I couldn't get a job there. So I continued, and when I got a chance to act, I did act. And after that, I converted my classroom as a place, and I did it.
wonderful.
The
Yeah,
stage.
it was a win-win situation for me as well as for my students. Thank you so much.
Great experience, sir. Thank you.
Fantastic. Fantastic to know. Like great actors also amidst us.
Yeah.
But this I had
That
not known, Colonel, that you have also acted in films. Fantastic. Lovely. So you've got an exposure, you got a chance in that also.
Just so happened. I think it was just लगे हुए इधर उधर घूमते घूमते पहुंच जाओ.
So I know. Actually, life has at times it just throws at you
Yeah.
certain opportunities, and if you are able to grab it, okay.
वो थोड़ा सा कोई पुश करने वाला आपको मिल जाए फिर आप कर लेते हो.
फिर चला जाता.
Incidentally, Colonel, it was also a doctor role I got.
Oh, wow.
Great.
In
Great.
fact, Colonel, I want to point out where you have mentioned that, always have your feet dipped in cold water. So I think if I'm not wrong, can we also relook it as something that, whereby you don't sort of get complacent
Yeah.
about things. You need to be always be adaptive to changing situations. So correct me if I'm able to, interpret it in that way that, when you say that always have your feet dipped in cold water, does that also mean that means you need to be very adaptive, immediately adaptive within very less time to get
Yeah.
adapted to a different kind of a scenario, different situation, different thing, no, altogether? Or
So what I wanted to convey was, ma'am, that we should keep, experimenting. We should not. So just try and be little uncomfortable in life
Life.
at the same
True.
time.
Not
You don't degrade yourself so much that you end up losing your identity or losing your income or your professional job wherever you are. But at least थोड़ा थोड़ा दाएं बाएं कुछ ना कुछ करते रहो, so that you remain little, it keeps you motivated, it keeps you alive.
hmm.
Like कुछ लोग नया गेम कोई शुरू कर लेते हैं. When you even you start playing a new game, for example, even if you are trying to play chess, you are a newcomer.
Hmm.
You develop so much interest. Like you just now spoke about AI.
Hmm.
I have learned on my own. So many
Hmm.
things I have learned on my own because it's so intoxicating moment you start filling those prompts, and at times you will find कि नहीं यार इससे अच्छा तो मैं खुद ही लिख लेती थी.
Hmm.
ये क्या लिख के दे दिया है? This is all garbage.
Okay.
Because at the end of it, it has only collected whatever you are feeding. You are only triggering all those algorithms. Otherwise, they are of no use to anybody.
True.
And whatever I am feeding, it is retaining. Only mind that they apply is कि क्या क्वेश्चन पूछा है, इससे जो भी मैचिंग इसमें है वो मैं इनको पकड़ा देता हूँ.
Hmm.
तो
Hmm.
अभी आपने रेस्टोरेंट में जाके खाना मांगा, वो खाना दे दिया उसने, अभी आपको चाइनीज खाना था, इंग्लिश खाना था, वो उसको भी नहीं पता unless you put it properly
Properly. True.
that I want Chinese and Chinese as cooked in India.
True. True.
So that is what I meant by writing those
Hmm.
prompts, and regarding keeping your toes dipped is basically to keep engaging with something, keep
Hmm.
having some stake somewhere.
Hmm.
Like we have a stake here. You must have, I think, taken out time, leaving aside something else to be
Hmm.
here, part of this group.
Right. Right. True. True.
Ji.
To keep invested, keep yourself
Yeah,
invested.
exactly. Invested is the right word. Yes.
Maybe.
Yeah, I like to share something.
Ji,
Yeah.
ji.
Yeah. Yeah, so Kotwal, it's about your talk. Uh, there was a beauty in that. What I realized, मैंने ये देखा है कि when you narrated both these stories or the experiences which you passed through, the one thing was there that you were constantly having a very keen eye on your experiences. What I meant is कि जहाँ पे where you found that this is your strength, you could make out where is your weaknesses. You could acknowledge those weaknesses whenever you were doing something or you were trying something randomly. So ये जो observation जो power है, the things which the knack of observing your own self when you are trying new things in life, that was a beauty. That was a beauty. What we miss out is ये small observations जो होते हैं ना, I think we overlook. And this, so that was something which touched me. In fact, the incidents were very normal, very simple, but out of that you gave such a beautiful lessons कि अगर आप उसमें से कुछ निकाल सकते हो. The second thing was clarity. Yes, we do not move further in life when we are not clear about something where you want to go. Yeah, so we are missing on directions, we are on the wrong path, we are with the wrong advice, and we have a wrong purpose in life, or we don't have any purpose in life. So one is clarity, which I think we must work on that. And the last thing, as you being an army man, you used a couple of times the word neutralizing. So that particular thing, when you are trying to neutralize your self limiting beliefs, आपकी जो setbacks है, अगर उसको neutralize कर सकते हो, and if we can focus on those few things, I think we would do wonders. So few things which I think I was focusing on, it was a beautiful observation, self observation, which you made throughout. So that was the beauty of it, and that's what I want to share about your talk.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.